Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I am Sunique and today I want to talk about the Bonefire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. I do have a couple of Gabby's decks. I love this deck. I've had it for quite some time and the guidebook is fantastic. You can see it's a little bit battered up with this sellotape here. It's seen a few years, this one. But yeah, it's one of my all-time favourite decks. Now, there's a re-release of this deck, and see this box is falling apart. It's just held together with sellotape, but I still love it. Yes, there's a re-release, another edition of this deck that's come out, so I thought we'd do a side-by-side and see what the differences are. Now, this has been out a little while, even though it's new to me. I'm just going to take the plastic off. There has been, as I understand it, some design changes, and even some of the cards have been redone. So let's have a look and see just what those changes are. So yeah, see, it says second edition. The first thing I'm noticing is the box. Now I'm pretty sure there's going to be obviously side by sides of these two decks on YouTube somewhere, more than likely. But I want to see for myself what those differences are. So yeah, we start with the box. The image is a little bit different as well. Yeah, that's something. This is like red feather. Who did this? Schiffer. So it's the same company actually, Schiffer, Red Feather, they are the same. Right, so in the original we have a two parts box, which is never great. This is the guidebook. It's a fantastic guidebook. But yeah, we have a two-part box, so the deck is in two halves. Let's take them out while we're here. And of course, you know, the cardboard inlay leaves a lot to be desired. You can even see where the cards are separated there. On the inside here, we've got this design, which is really nice. The cards themselves are not gilded. These are the backs, sort of purpley colour, although it probably looks black on the camera. It's sort of a purpley hue to it. We've got black borders and then the picture inside. Very colourful, very sort of tattoo art style really, but absolutely beautiful. Let's have a look at this new version. So we've got, I think, a magnetic box. Yeah, this is the inside. So very nice so far. This is the book. Again, that's very substantial. Okay, so the cards are borderless. So there's a difference. Oh, and they're red edged. Oh, that's pretty. But being borderless, it's made the cards smaller, which is no bad thing really. However, Gabby's artwork is very detailed. I would imagine it's actually the same size. Yeah, pretty much. In fact, I think it might even be exact. It's exact same size, just without the borders. Now, this first edition is glossy. Love glossy cards. Not great for the camera, but I love glossy cards. This is silky, I'd say. Yeah, pretty silky. So, should we do the cards first? I normally do the guidebook first, but I'm just intrigued to see the difference. Cardstock, I think, is the same thickness. Maybe a little bit thicker. 2 cards thicker. So, which do you prefer? Let's go in. Get a close-up of these two. Do you prefer this glossy image, or do you prefer this more muted borderless edition here? To me, this is more vibrant, but I like it being without borders. So it's a colour image on the back of the new one. Oh, we've got a different magician. Okay, I like this magician as well with the top hat, and yeah, I really like this magician, but there's been a decision made to alter the card. I like both of them actually. We've kept quite a few of the details. It's just what has changed. Sort of these doves here look a little different. And obviously the magician themselves, he's now looking at us here. Lovely eyelashes. Oh yeah, we've got the number 1 here on the heart shape and not on there. Tip of the wand, that's different. Yeah, I think the rest of it's pretty much the same. So there's the first change. It looks pretty similar. Wow. Wow. that Empress is pretty dramatically changed here. I'm not sure about that. Well, I don't know. And also all these colourful stars have gone. They're just white here. It looks quite alien. I'm not sure about that one, to be honest. Okay, the Empress changed. There's been quite a few changes so far. I don't know how many in total there'll be, but I like this Emperor. This one looks worried. It's nice thick cardstock, by the by. I like the cardstock. Okay, that looks pretty much the same. And so the Lovers. I love the dogs on the Chariot card. I find Gabby's artwork to be so expressive. Okay, that one's completely changed as well. Mind you, we've kept the dogs, but they look a little bit more ferocious. It's almost sort of mirrored as well, hasn't it? Yeah, everything's on the other side. I mean, despite the fact that we've got a different figure here. Okay, strength. Pretty much the same. We've actually lost some of the lemniscate here. Yeah, we've lost some of the details from the edges. They've been cut. They are sticking together a little bit because it's a new deck. Yeah, we're losing details on the edges. So some sort of compromise had to be made there. I mean, look at this wolf here. It's pretty much gone. W. Justice. Hanged Man. The Death card. The astrological sign here is sort of almost gone on the new version. Such a shame. It's a shame that we're losing some of the artwork in the new version. Love this devil card. So good. Tower. That's weird, isn't it? The difference between the two. This almost looks like there's been a veil put over the top of it, and we've lost some of that vibrancy that we get with the glossy cardstock. I think you can tell I'm veering towards my original first edition. As beautiful as the second edition is, I am like, yeah, but I'm losing the edges. Yeah, but there's a compromise that's been made here that I'm not very comfortable with. Love that sun card. Look at the sun face, it's brilliant. There's so much detail in this Judgment card. So much to think about, really, what Judgment actually means. And the World. Okay, so those are the major arcana cards and the differences. Are there any new cards in the minors? Let's find out. And we begin with the wands. Okay, so 5 of Wands has changed. We've actually got figures now. Being very expressive. I do like this one though, you know, the conkers. You ever play that at school? Gosh, get that wrong, it hurt. Ooh, clanging those conkers. And that's the thing really with tarot, isn't it? We have certain images that remind us of the past, remind us of an experience that we've had. And I think the conker image is really evocative for me for the 5 of Wands. It's an image that I'll remember because it's not your usual 5 of Wands type of image. So it means more to me. So 6, 7, 8, 9, and the 10. So far just the 5 of Wands. So let's look at the courts. Oh dear, there's a child crying outside. I live not far from a play school, so sometimes we get children's noise. But that one sounds pretty upset. So, Queen of Wands, and look at the cat in this Queen of Wands. I mean, that's some cat, isn't it? And I love the way that Gabby has introduced the elements as well. So we have water of fire for the Queen of Wands. Oh, we've got a different king. I prefer this animal to this animal, I must say. In fact, I prefer this face to this face. Okay, so we're in a different order here. There's something about Gabby's artwork that just invokes in me, or evokes in me, a reaction. It's just the expressiveness of the artwork. I think it's fantastic. Wearing the heart on the sleeve. This one always reminds me of Marilyn Monroe for some reason. We've got a nod here to the Rider-Waite-Smith as well on the 9 of Cups. I like that there's no figures as well in the 10 of Cups. Just the idea of what the 10 of Cups energy is. Totally different queen. Colourway's changed as well. This one looks like it's frowning a little bit, even crying. All in their feels. And king. Okay, swords. Again, another queen has been altered. It's the eyes as well on those that have changed, isn't it? The eyes are more higher cheekbones and completely different type of face. But then we do have cherry blossoms, so maybe it's a more Asian feel, possibly. Okay, on to the final suit. So there's not been that many changes so far. Again, more of an Asian feel in this. 2 of coins. The fire's grown. The bones have grown. I love this dog stance. Down face dog. Every dog does it. So cute. It's a page. It's nice. All armoured up. Even the horse is armoured. Even the tortoise has got this armour, if you like. No change to this queen, I think. The hair in the pie. And the king. These rabbits aren't doing too well, are they? This one. Anyway, those are the cards, and already, and all I've done is just gone through them, they're damaged. Look. Gosh. They're not going to wear very well. At all. No, they're not going to wear very well at all. Okay, let's compare now the guidebooks. Now we've seen the differences in the decks, and I've got to say I prefer the original. I did think a few times before buying this deck. When it first came out, I was interested, and then I don't know. I thought, well, I've got what I've got. I'm happy with what I've got. So we'll see. Anyway, so in the original, which was 2016. Gosh, can you believe that? 2016. Whoa. Oh dear. Where does the time go? Yeah, it's beautiful paper, this is. So we have a preface, a warm welcome, all about tattooing the tarot. And then we've got the majors, the minors, reading tarot, cherry flavoured truth bombs, a glossary of the symbols, interesting bones for further reading, listening and research, and thank yous and credit where it's due. As I said, this is an amazing guidebook. The only downside to it is the print is quite small, as you can see, or not see, as the case may be. Okay, so we have an image of the card, what it means, what the Bonefire says, and then the symbols: the dog, the mountain, the Ouroboros, the sunrise, and the white rose. And then if you go to the back here, much like the Vedant's tarot that I did a walkthrough of in the last video, this one also has an index of what each thing means. So the mountains are obstacles to overcome, the ups and downs of life, hard work and travel. So I think that's fantastic, just to have this glossary of the symbols that the artist has used. Okay, so quite a bit of information for each major. Then in the minors, we get about a page really. And for the court cards we get sort of half a page. So that's how the guidebook is set up. We do have in part 3 some spreads. Beltane spread, isn't that great? 8 card enlightener. There's the cherry flavoured truth bombs, so yeah, worth a read. So that's, let's see, 788, about 190 pages. There's going to be looking very much like Frida Kahlo, and incidentally there is going to be a Frida Kahlo exhibition in London pretty soon, and I really want to go and see that. This is a further reading, listening and research. There's an audio, some of the back in 2016 podcasts. So Archetypal Tarot, Donnelly de la Rose, who is still active and whose videos I watched so many years ago on the Lenormand, when I was learning the Lenormand. Donnelly was one of the people that I avidly watched. And Dusty White. So Dusty White has got a couple of books out. The Easiest Way to Learn the Tarot, I think, is one of them. And we've got literature, Eclectic Tarot, which is no longer actually active. I think you can still access the past posts on there, but it isn't active anymore. Biddy Tarot, yeah, Biddy's still going. There's a blog here from a spread designer, which I'm not aware of, Lionel D. Giacomo. And then of course we've got 78 Degrees of Wisdom, Rachel Pollock, it says here, my pick of the bunch. And then The Artist's Way, Julia Cameron, which is a great book. That's where everybody gets their ideas for morning pages from, where you write 3 pages every morning of stream of consciousness writing. I think a lot of us bought that book back in the day. So let's see what we get here. In the second edition, 2023, so it has been out a couple of years. Walt Whitman passage there. So introduction, a warm welcome, tattoo and the tarot, a few words on the artistic process, that's different. At last the handbook begins. And they've got the majors, a note about reversals, major cards, the minors. Reading tarot spreads. Before I go, a warning, glossary. Oh, kept the glossary of the symbols. And then listening and research. Further listening and research. Thank yous and credit. It seems to be the same. Okay. Oops. This is 248 pages. So we've got the same recommended listening. Yep, same. Yeah, same. And there's Gabby now. Okay, so we still have a little image of the card. The same. Got a page and a half there for the major card. And it looks to be a little bit more information on the minors in this book. But pretty much the same. Yeah. Yep. Same spreads. Okay, there's not much difference, I don't think, in these. So we'll draw a card and then we'll look at the guidebook for each. So let's draw Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. We'll have a look at the guidebooks. Okay. And I'm just going to scan here and then I'll come back and see if they're the same. Okay, so there's just one word that's changed here. Ensured was assured, so that's the only change there. Okay, I've just scanned a couple of cards, one from the major, one from the minor, and the guidebooks are exactly the same. So if you wanted to know the difference, there it is. Shall we take a card and do a reading? You can take the King of Wands. I'm going to do it with a little deck. So it's my new deck. You'll go with a difficult card. This is the page of coins, and there's no title on the card anywhere that I can see. Is that the same on the original? Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because there's the page of coins isn't actually on the image there, whereas it is on the others. I've brought out 2 court cards. Oh well, that's what came out, so that's what we'll read. Okay, so the King of Wands is mastery of energy and force, the height of creativity, fruits of endeavours have ripened, energetic fire spreads as you speak. Bonefire says, the King of Wands is a man undictated, his rule is absolute. He has done a more than a satisfactory job and remains fully engaged by the process. He has never grown mundane, and he relishes every day's new challenge. His wand-like instinct for rebirth and renewal has kept him up to date, relevant, and always at the head of the pack. Though financially secure, he has never fallen victim to the trappings of wealth, vanity, or pride. Every day brings forth fresh challenges which keep him busy. He is ever the hard worker. The King of Wands is a fine and independent thinker. Though not a great respecter of traditions for their own sake, he does go to the history books as a source for strategy and tactics, and has great respect for the achievements of his ancestors and bloodlines. He rises early with the sun, and nothing will happen that day to surprise him, since he has fully realised knowledge. As a father, he is inspirational and much admired. His children emulate him, and he teaches them independent thought through his own actions, rather than via school books. He can be unconventional and way ahead of his time. His modern ideas sometimes are considered outlandish and threatening to the unenlightened. The king is a skillful delegator and seeks out talented individuals to work with him, recognising skills in others that he does not have himself. In return for hard work, he lavishes praise and material rewards upon his people. The King of Wands manages to keep his connection to his muse wide open. This is a hard-won skill, and with it, as he grows older, he will become very wise. If you know this king, you will like him unfeasibly, and should he enter your life, you will feel richer. You will find you are eager to please him, as if he were a parent or teacher. If he is your boss, you will follow his example and work hard. If he is a creative, he will inspire you. You might even find yourself wearing a hat as he does, hoping a little of his bright glamour might rub off on you. He might represent the idealised role model you always wanted in your life. In a reading, the king's presence encourages the pursuit of an idea or current practice to a very fine conclusion. It convinces what you pursue is worthwhile and worthy of you. The card implies you have respect from those around you. You may have captured the admiration of a younger person and have the power to really influence someone to their benefit right now. If you have become stuck or entrenched in a project, help in the shape of a mentor might be just around the corner. The king is always welcome in a Bonefire reading. He tells me that I fully commit to what I'm doing. I will be a success. What form this might take is not guaranteed, but if I work in the bright light of the King of Wands with my muse flowing freely, I can do no wrong as I draw closer to my own truth. The symbols: alchemical fire, crown, gem, wolf, and a winged serpent. And then, of course, we can go to the glossary to find out what that means. So, alchemical fire means forging ahead. Crown, power, riches and bloodlines. Gem, riches, as you'd expect. Wolf, a member of a hierarchical society, pack mentality, freedom and independence of the loner. Winged serpent isn't listed in here. But wings are all about angelic presence and to take flight. 8 of Swords. Feeling locked out, caged by dark thoughts, sullied by your mind, paralysed and bound by inaction, a victim mentality in need of holistic detoxification. So very Rider-Waite-Smith. And this is the punishment card. The question raised: who or what is doing the punishing, and who or what is being punished? The girl sits cross-legged in an ancient swamp at the bottom of a mountain. Someone has erected a cage of swords around her. She is blindfolded and her arms are bound. A huge green eye stares down at its prisoner. It is the all-seeing eye. She raises her chin upward, indignant and ready to hear her judgment. She might, if she were willing, attempt to stand up and escape this makeshift prison, but her arms are tied. She would have a struggle to get up unassisted and might end up filthy and ashamed. It can help to consider this 8 in the light of the 7. There we saw the figure creep away. Here she has been caught and must face the consequences for her actions. Her crimes have reached the notice of higher authorities, and this mud might well stick. Will she hang around or will she leave? The eye waits to find out. Is she a sticker or a quitter? This can also be a card to indicate a martyr. As she sits composed, defiant even, her pose is the lotus of Buddhist meditation. Her eyes are covered, blocking her senses, but is she really receiving divine guidance from that great eye in the sky? Is she about to gain the strength and resilience to stand up for a belief that has brought her to this place of confinement? So the light and the shadows of this card hold rather different meanings. In one, the eye protects and inspires. In the other, it judges and punishes. The girl is in isolation, bereft of human company, but she has the eye. This can be an invitation to focus your thoughts onto one person or situation, or perhaps someone or something demands your attention, but you fail to notice. If someone is oppressing you, you will need your intuition to find the best course of action. Or is someone watching or waiting for you to come to some kind of realization? The Ace of Swords also asks if you are procrastinating. The King of Wands wouldn't want you to do that. And is it for a reason? Are you suffering from low self-esteem, shame or fear? Or is it guilt that holds you captive? As an aside, I thought I might mention that I painted the card when I was filling my head with the philosophies of Alan Watt via YouTube. I wonder sometimes how something as universally inspiring as this man's words can help create a piece of art to which they are utterly unrelated. The weather was hot and I stayed up late and listened for so long that my right ear was sore from the headphones. And when the painting was quite finished, I am sure I was quite enlightened for at least the next 48 hours. Symbols: blindfold, clouds, green eyes and mud. And finally the Page of Coins, a fledgling entrepreneur, an innate instinct for money, a surprisingly grounded young person, great potential to harness youthful vigour. The Bonefire Page of Coins is my elegant elder daughter Sydney. This page is a youth of great promise, a resourceful adolescent who sees potential in the world unfolding around her. The possibilities of making something from nothing, absolutely, or adding value to a budding situation. The page realises that hard work has rewards and life's lessons teach us more than can be gleaned from book study alone. A youthful confidence. The universe will respond to real application, and if one merely begins an action and attacks it wholeheartedly, it will likely be a success. The Page of Coins can warn of a new business of wholesome and well-intentioned origin, sometimes undertaken with inadequate planning and little thought for its long-term and sustained growth. She asks you to seize the moment. An opportunity or message of such comes your way. Do not waste it, since the offer is not open-ended. As a person, this page is young, with great potential for a career in business. Those like this are unlikely to waste time simply playing shops. They will want to set one up and get selling. They are organised, though not always gifted students, who make lists and have tidy bedrooms. As a parent of this child, you might want to tell them to lighten up a bit, and you wish you heard them laugh more. They might be the eldest sibling and take this role very seriously. You might find you put a little too much pressure on the child to behave sensibly and expect too much of them. The Page of Coins has a level head and easy temperament, and as such should not be taken for granted. In a reading, this card can represent the presence in your life of a person in this period between childhood and adolescence, known as latency, where they are easy, moral and helpful as can be. You are urged to enjoy these days. They will soon pass as the storms of the teenage years come rolling in. So enjoy cuddles while you can still get them. Make lemonade while the sun shines. And the symbols are daisy, horns and lemons. Some of the cards that have changed I don't like, some of the cards that have changed I do like. But it was always going to be that way, really, wasn't it? And I do prefer glossy cardstock. I just do. It's just so nice. Anyway, I'm not upset though I bought it. I have 2 options now. I can reach for either one. So, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. And that was Gabby Angus West Bonefire Tarot 1st and 2nd edition, side by side. Bye friends, bye.